you're better off spending a little bit more on using spare blades and well, not necessarily throwing them out, but changing them out fairly often, because you can quickly run into trouble with parts that are this delicate. There, got that one freed from captivity. So I'm going to go and clean this off a little bit. Get rid of that sprue off of there, like that, because we want this part here is going to butt up against the top. The railing, not the railing, the walkway is going to be resting on top here, so you want this fairly clean, fairly flat. So this looks like it's fairly clean here. Be very, very, very careful so as not to cut through any of this railing here. And if you do, not necessarily a disaster if you set this down on a flat surface and you line the parts up and then give it a dab of this cement. That should be enough to weld it back together. So there is a path to recovery here if you accidentally get a little careless with the knife here. So go ahead and clean this off like that. It's probably better to hold this up. There, like I say, having a sharp knife is critical. Very gently, very carefully clean the sprue off here. There. And I'm moving out of camera range again. Alright, here. There we go. There. Alright. Looks like we got a winner here. Okay. Now, we've got these grooves. I don't know if you can see well. We've got these little grooves here where the railing will slide into. I don't know how well you can see that, but you gotta want to be careful when you handle your car body like that, because these things have a tendency to break off pretty easily, and this is the first one of these cars I put together where they haven't. So it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but it kind of looks a little bit better and holds the railing in place a little bit more. So I'm just gonna slide this in like that. Slide it, slide it, slide it, slide it in the groove. Hopefully it should cooperate. There. Slide it carefully in there, like that. And with the railing on top, there, like that. That's how it's supposed to work. And this will end up, we'll glue this walkway to the top of this railing here. I'm thinking that's what it's called. I don't know all the technical terms for all these parts, so forgive me. I tend to call them whatever I happen to feel like calling them at the moment. Framework, end framework. All right, like that. You see, got the bottom of the framework. It's going to be flush with the bottom of the car. At least give it a quick dab of cement. Like that, right down there, right on the edge there. Just a quick dab, just to hold it in place so I can jockey it around and maneuver it and make sure I'm getting things set up correctly. So just a quick, make sure that's all lined up okay. Yeah, I think we're alright. All along the bottom, is that flush? Does that look flush? Yeah, okay, here we go. Just along the bottom right there. Alright, let me hold it there for a little bit. Hold it in place while it sets. Alright, I think we're good. Okay, make sure this, yeah, make sure that's lining up okay. That doesn't look too bad. That isn't looking too bad at all. That's looking fairly straight up and down. Maybe it needs to come back a little bit so that this framework is square with the railing up top there. So I've got that. Got okay because I'm going to be gluing the framework to the walkway. Sorry, the walkway. So I want to make sure this is going to be okay. Alright, what I'll do next, make sure it's flush, make sure it's even all the way around. And I'll probably do like I did at the bottom, give it a little dab at the center to hold it, to tack it. Just a little bit. Just enough to hold it in place, being careful not to get this stuff on my fingers, just a slight, there. It gets a little bit tricky here, but let me turn this away so you can see. Just a little bit, right there in the center. Just to tack it in place. There. There we go. I think that's tacked in place. Now it looks fairly even. Looks like I'm pretty flush here. Don't have any overhang on the end really. I want to make sure that that's squared up nicely. Let's look around here on this side. Okay, that's looking alright. It's got a little bend. Bend that down a little bit so it's even. Alright, I'm going to do is lie this down. Lay it down like that. Okay, just like that. Okay, I'll get this just a little weight on there. Alright, now I'm going to just put a dab right there. Secure this ladder in place. Just like that. Alright. I'll put a little bit down here. There. That's welded. Go over and do the same on the other side. Okay. Hold it down with one finger. Kind of hold it down like that in place. Alright. A little dab of glue. A little of this welding solution along the bottom there. There, we got that secured. Alright, I'm going to put a little bit more along the bottom here. Along there, make sure that's completely secure. A little bit there, like that. And we have this framework is starting to look good. Alright, now this is all looking pretty square here. No real overhang, at least anything that's substantial. That would look shocking or wrong. So I'm going to go and apply glue up top, all the way around the top. There, just like that. I'll go over here, do the same. There, I'm shaking too much. Shaking. Alright, well, we got one framework in place. That wasn't too horribly painful. And we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel on this model. I'm going to do the other end, and that's a little bit more complex because we have some fine detail work we need to attach to that first. So I'm going to take some time and cut all the parts out. So to spare you having to watch that, because we got this framework here, but we also have the brake wheel and some finer detail to attach onto there. You've got that, you've got the brake wheel here, you've got that attachment for holding the brake wheel. Oh boy, I don't know what the term for that is, but we'll get it done. So let me take a little break here and cut out the other framework and spare you the boring details of watching me do that. And we'll get that part assembled.